What is the deal with AI or artificial intelligence in voiceover? That is what our topic is today. Good morning or evening or afternoon or wherever you happen to be watching or listening from. My name is Mike Hathcote. I'm a professional voice talent, and every weekday we hop on here to just talk about voiceover, give you a little tip to kind of get your business heading in the right direction. And welcome to it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell just so we can get you this content as quickly as we can. Also, don't forget to chime in on the chat. Holler at me, and we'll do some shout outs here in a few minutes. Also, my new book, The Voiceover Blueprint, is now out, and we are doing a promotional, like a launch deal with that, where you get the audiobook, the digital download, and 4 bonus gifts: the 5 biggest mistakes beginners make, the beginner voiceover booth on a budget, 4 tips for the better conversational read, and my personal steps for email marketing. That's all in the link below if you want to grab that. Or if you want to just go old school and get the paperback, link down there as well. All right, let's talk about AI. A lot has been made about AI over the last couple of years, and especially in the voiceover industry. And yes, AI is taking jobs. However, the jobs that it is taking are the bottom of the barrel jobs. It's going to be a long, long time before anyone is able to mimic human emotion with AI. And I've actually had clients who have tried AI and who have actually come back to human because of the inflexibility of it. For instance, if you're trying to get a point across and want to have a specific word in a script be inflection, have inflection on that word, you can't tell AI to do that. Just to, focus on that one word. Um, so a lot of the people that I've talked to, several, I don't want to say a lot, several clients of mine who have tried AI have told me personally that they are coming back to human because you just can't give that kind of direction to an AI and have it sound right. Um, Now there are times when AI is, I want to say, required or necessary. But for instance, when I was sick in January, I had COVID. I think I mentioned it on here. One of my clients, actually, no, 2 of my clients asked me if they could use AI to clone my voice for pickups for a couple of jobs that I had done previous to when I was sick, so that they could match my voice and insert that in those, put the pickups in. And apparently it worked because the end client did not know any different. They promised me that it would be a one-time deal, so I went ahead and said yes. I mean, what am I gonna do? They have deadlines, and I was sick. So, with, the exception of that kind of thing, AI is not the boogeyman that everybody kind of has thought it to be in voiceover. Most people, if you're scrolling on Instagram or wherever and you come across a video that has AI, you pretty much know it's AI. I mean, there's no question that it is. So really, the only jobs that are being eaten up by AI right now are the low end, bottom of the barrel jobs where they just need something good enough, something that doesn't sound completely like a robot. But you can always tell if it's an AI. And the one that I hate the most, that I hear all the time on social media, is this one voice, and I don't even know who it sounds like. It sounds like some celebrity, but I couldn't tell you who. But it seems like it's being used quite a bit. And of course, if it's out there that much, people are going to know it's AI because that one person is not, getting that much work. Um, Plus, you can tell it's AI just for the way that the cadence and the way everything sounds. So it's going to be a while. So don't get all worried about AI unless you're dwelling in that lower lower end work, meaning, the YouTube videos, those little short reels on Instagram where they used AI voices. Those are the voices and those are the jobs that are getting eaten up. So, how do you get around that? Well, that's even more of a reason for you to have good quality demos and a good website so that you can go get the work where they are not even getting close to touching AI yet. They're still using human voices and will for an indefinite amount of time, because you're never going to find an AI who can mimic human emotion. And those upper tier jobs need that, right? So if you're worried about AI, that's even more of a reason to get your training together, get your demos together, get a good website, and go out there and start getting that upper echelon of work. That's how you're going to sustain a career in VO. But if you're kind of dwelling in that lower area, you may want to be a little worried. Okay. There's the AI conversation. All right. Let's see who's in today. There's Mark from Montreal and Wayne from Port Orchard. There's Celeste from Newark, Delaware, and Sarah from Kentucky. Nephi from Knoxville. John the Irishman, Tuesday in Denver. There's Ron from Grand Haven, Michigan. Edward from Jacksonville, Florida. There's Nancy in Yankton, South Dakota. And David from Hamilton, Ontario. First of all, let me just say how impressed I am. For those of you who are on here day in and day out, I truly appreciate it. We've got a lot of regulars on here, and I really do. It warms my heart to think that you guys are joining every day. So I really do appreciate that. David from Hamilton, Ontario. There's Johnny from Florida. DeCarlos from Vegas. Let's have a great day. Corey from Whitehall, Wisconsin. And there's Sean from Longview. Kirk from Greenville, South Carolina. Callie from Pasco. Terry from Fallston, Maryland. There's Tim from Altoona. Jason from Kearney, Nebraska. Doug from Greensboro, North Carolina. Voice 156, good morning from Holland. Terry says, I purchased the digital download before the bonus gifts were available. How do I get the 4 bonus gifts? Shoot me an email, Terry, and I'll send that to you. I'll just send them to you in the PDF versions via email. So shoot me an email for that. Just Mike at MikeHathcote.com. Jason said, Jeffrey Wright's voice is on almost every AI video I've seen. That may be it. Yes. Now that you say it, that is exactly who that voice is. And yeah, right? So you hear that so much and you know that it's not him. He's not the one that's actually doing that read. It's an AI that they've copied his voice. Yes, but that is who that is. And I'm glad you brought that up, Jason, because that is exactly the voice I'm talking about. There's LaDonna from St. Louis. Can you show your book again, please? There it is. The voiceover blueprint. Get found, get heard, get hired. And if you just go to Amazon and just type in Hathcote, it'll come up too. But there is a link to the paper book version as well down in the description, in addition to that bundle. There's Jolie from Minnesota. There's Guy from St. Louis. Ethan says, hello, I bought your book and I'm looking forward to reading it. Well, thank you, Ethan. I appreciate it. Hope you like it. It's a pretty good read. It's relatively short. It's about, the audiobook is a little over 2 hours. So it's about 122 pages. So, you could read it in a day if you really got into it. But I've got some stories in there. It's not all about, it's all about voiceover, but it's a lot of my personal experiences and tips and tricks that kind of come from my own past, both in radio and in voiceover. It even has a couple of pictures in it. And I'll go ahead and tell you what the pictures are. I've got a section in there on building a DIY booth and, traveling, and I've got a couple of pictures in there, one of a Airbnb booth that I created when I was on vacation, and, so I've got a picture of that in there, and then I've got a picture of my, closet booth when I first moved into that, and, so there's a couple of pictures on there. There's Phil in Tokyo, got the book bundle. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Loretta says, "Good morning from Crete, Illinois." Jason says, "Bought the book and bundle yesterday. By the way, great listen so far." Well, thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Hopefully, you won't mind me yapping in your ear for a couple hours. Hey, there's Chip Loop from Sherwood, Oregon. Voice 156 says, "Would game voices be less likely to be replaced by AI?" That's a really good question. I don't see why not. I'm not sure. That's a good I mean, I've only done one real video game, so I don't have my finger on the pulse of, what the video game industry kinda looks like, but, that's a good question. I'm not sure about that. I don't know why it would be any different. The lower end games would probably use AI, whereas the upper tier, jobs would probably still be using VO, regular VO. ME Dog, good morning from Phoenix. David says, "Hey, from the Big Easy." John McCarthy says, "Characters in animation are even harder for AI right now." Yeah, that makes sense because there's a whole lot more, you know, uh, typically acting jobs, where it's character work versus just reading some explainer video or some e-learning. When you're really having to act, I mean, really act, which is what a lot of the video games and a lot of the animation stuff is, that's gonna be a whole lot harder for AI to replace. Those top 10 alien abduction videos on YouTube are the ones that AI is really taking right now, those low end, just good enough jobs. They just need something that's good enough. Mark says, "I already bought Bill's book last year, and it kicked off my journey quite well. But I still bought your book and bundle. I'm sure it'll be a great addition to my training." Yes, thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, Bill's book was great. It's got a lot of helpful tips in it, and it's great. Mine is quite different in that, everybody's journey is different. So I've got some insights that maybe Bill doesn't, and vice versa. And like I said, I've got some personal stories in there about myself um, oh, and also my wife, who is a social psychologist and did our class back in January on mindset. She has a little section in there as well. I read it. I actually asked her if she'd like to read, actually do the audio version of it, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't know." so so I read the part that she wrote, but it's that is worth the price of the book, just the mindset thing, because mindset literally contributes to everything that we do in the booth and outside the booth. But I mean, when it comes to growing and sustaining a voiceover business, your mindset is number one. And so she's able to break it down in really easy to understand terms. And so the very last chapter of the book is on mindset. And it's science based, you know, just some of that stuff will blow your mind. And I'll bet you that when you read that chapter, you'll be able to pick out yourself in what she's talking about. So, anyway, Sandra said, "Just did an ad where they had done an AI and they weren't happy with it. So they hired me to read the ad again. Hopefully that's what's happening." That is what's happening. I think we're definitely seeing, what's the word? A retraction or a backslide on people's excitement about using AI for for voiceover, at least for quality voiceover. If somebody wants something that's of quality, they're going to continue to use humans. Um, I think the big scare is over, at least until they come up with some major, innovation that makes people or makes AI uh, more real and more able to emote emotion. Guy says, I can spot AI within 1 minute. Mispronunciations. Yeah. Mispronunciations, just weird inflections, at the end of sentences, particularly. They just kind of, it's weird. You can spot them. You can spot them. It's not like the old War Games, remember that movie from the 80s with Matthew Broderick, shall we play a game? Remember that? Definitely better than that now, but still, they're pretty easy to pick out. So it's going to be a while. MB Doll says, just ordered the book. So excited to get started. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Any other comments or questions about AI? Because we are getting about to the end of this huddle so I can get back to work. Jason says, as with all things, you get what you pay for. That's why AI is so cheap. Yep, that's true. Once again, just good enough. That's all they want is just good enough. And it's fine for those AI video or for those YouTube videos that, but if you want something that's going to be engaging, that's going to, like in e-learning, if you want to keep people awake, which that is the number one goal of any e-learning narrator, keep the people awake. And we've all been through e-learnings where the guys on there just, Bueller, 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 and you just want to punch yourself in the face. So the job with e-learning is to keep people awake. And so people try to use AI for that. No bueno. That is no good. JJ says, is the tech class tonight? I hope Alex is better. Yes, Alex is better. Tech Tuesday is on for tonight. So he will be on answering your tech questions and equipment questions and all that kind of stuff. He does that every Tuesday. In fact, we have a live training webinar every day of the week in the VoiceOver Blueprint. We have Monday Marketing with me, Tuesday Tech with Alex, Wednesday Fiverr with John, Thursday Performance with Mary, and Friday Upwork with Kayla, all at 4 p.m. Pacific. And so those are our daily live training webinars in the VoiceOver Blueprint. Okay, guys. Well, I do have some work to do, so I'm going to jump off of here once again. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. The links to the book bundle were the audiobook, the digital download, and those 4 other gifts are in there as well. So thank you so much. Oh, JJ says, I can't imagine trying to do VO without the blueprint. Oh, thank you so much, JJ. I appreciate that. We do what we can, and it's by far the most comprehensive voiceover training program in the known galaxy. So thank you for that vote of confidence. Appreciate that. All right, I'm going to bounce. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And until then, break a lip. See ya.